Please welcome Darrell Campbell.
31 years ago, I'm milking cows, and as I'm standing between two rows of cows, and I'm spraying the water and putting it on the milking machine, and the milk is coming, and a cow lays a nice, warm, soft plop right on the concrete, hits me in the face, and I decide then I really need to do something to change my life. I was working in Washington State, and I was working across the water from Vancouver Island. I thought, if I could fly to Vancouver Island, I could go to college. I could come back and milk the cows. I could fly to Vancouver. I could come back and milk the cows. And I thought, okay. I looked into building an airplane out of a kit, but airplanes are too complex, and they're too expensive, and they're a little bit dangerous. So I thought, okay, I need an alternate way to fly. And I discovered airships. Airships are cheap. Airships are easy. And they're safe. But anybody can build an airship. I mean, you put an engine on a parade float, you've got an airship. So I looked at that, and as I studied the history of airships, I discovered that they were all wrong. Airships are crazy. The definition of crazy is to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. And blimps and dirigibles and zeppelins have all been built the same way for over 100 years, and they're all wrong. So I said, okay, I'll design a new kind of airship. Instead of a normal fabric, I'll build it out of rigid, solid materials. And I thought, I'll build this thing like a geodesic dome. So all the triangles fit together, and it's smooth and easy, and it's strong. And I changed the shape from the traditional cigar shape to a broader shape. And I could cover it with solar cells. I could fly on nothing but sunshine. And then I looked at it. I said, "This thing looks like a turtle. I'll call my business Turtle Airships." Time passed. I never could find partners. I couldn't find any investors. So I wrote a book about my business, and I wrote it in verisimilitude, as though it had actually been going for about 8 years in success. And I wrote about a one-man airship that I built and flew from Seattle up to Alaska. And I wrote about secret military UFO airships that they were testing. And I wrote about airships that were configured as giant flying cruise ships, flying together in tandem around the world. And I sold maybe 20, 30 copies of my book. It was pretty bad. And so one day, I'm up in the library, and I'm just reading magazines, just having fun. And I pick up the latest issue of Popular Science magazine. I'm leafing through it, and it's got an article about airships. Oh, great, cool. And there's a nice picture of Zeppelin, their new technology. And there's Goodyear, and I flip the page. And there's Turtle, me, right there. And a quote, and in the body of the a quote from me, and I had no idea that this was happening. Nothing, it just came totally, I'm crazy. I'm in the library waving this thing around. They almost had to kick me out of there. Well, nothing happened. I'm getting national exposure for my business. Nothing happened. My former spouse, just recently, was not forwarding my mail and was not forwarding my phone calls, so nobody could reach me. So nothing happened. About a month later, I get another telephone call out of the blue. Don't know this guy. He's telling me about some airship convention in Washington, D.C., and will I be there? No. And then he asked, well, can I take a chapter out of your book and circulate it within the Pentagon? Yeah, okay. Turns out he was the head of what we now know as stealth programs. In prehistory, before we all were commonly aware of it. And he took that into the Pentagon, and now my writings about airships are being seen by generals and admirals and whatnot inside the Pentagon. About a year later, the Pentagon announces, whoa, we're interested in airships, and we're going to give away $10 million to 2 companies to develop new designs. So I go to Washington, D.C., and I'm there with everybody, and there's Zeppelin, and there's Goodyear, there's Boeing, there's Lockheed, and they're just, wow, cool. And as I listened to their proposals again and again and again, I saw again, you're all wrong. My design is worlds beyond theirs. And so I told the guy, the head of the program, I said, I've got the thing. I'm the guy. And he leaned on the table, and he looked at me and said, Mr. Campbell, You may be God's gift to the world of airship design, but you are not going to get any funding. And that was it. I was shot down, like the Hindenburg, shot down in flames. $500 million gone. Is it the end of my story? No. The title of my book is Helium Phoenix.